Today I'm going to discuss my final project for my master's degree in education. I've created two content courses for Canvas. When you look at my dashboard, though, you will see 6 different subjects. Our tech department had us grouped each class into a different subject. So in order to compensate for this, I just copy the content and into each of my other of the same classes. So I've basically created 2 different contents for courses for Canvas. One is anatomy and physiology, and the other is environmental science. And each is for a semester. If you go into my each A class, and you go down to the modules, I set up each course or each chapter into their own modules. And in each module, I have PowerPoint notes and it works well, especially with students who may have been absent or on a field trip, that they can go in there and they can access the information at any time. There's also students who may need extra to look at the content more than once just to absorb the information. I also have different links that I put into that. This, for example, is a link to something called Wisconsin Online. And because we're a one-to-one school, these interactive little activities are really great for the students because they're able to work then at their own pace and discuss what we do for that particular lesson. Then I usually have a paper for them to fill out as they're going along and filling this in and reviewing the information that we've been talking about. The good thing about this is if you can drag, this is a drag and drop, and if you're incorrect, it will not allow you to keep the word then there at the correct location. Some of the other things that I have put in on this are quizzes or tests in here. And with the quizzes and tests, one of the things that I like is that it allows you to analyze your quiz and see what the high score is and the low score is, and it can even break down the different questions. So that way you can analyze what your students were really able to understand and maybe what you needed to go back and reteach because the majority of the students did not get that particular section of the test. For anatomy and physiology, I have the introductory chapter. I have a review on the cells and the different types of cells transport. I have tissues, and along with some of these chapters, I have different types of discussion. For example, this discussion was looking at a video on tissue engineering, and then the students needed to state whether or not they agreed or disagreed with that type of research that's going on here in the United States, and they needed to defend their view with 6 or 8 sentences and then comment on 2 others' post. And I did put in the example, I agree with your statement because, or I disagree with your statement because, just to give the students an idea of exactly how I want their responses to be. Along with the tissues, we have the skin project, and with the skin project, the students had to create a skin model, and even though the models were not uploaded on here, I was able then to put the project online and for the students to look at the rubric then when they were at home. For the skeletal system and then naming the bones, one of the things that I like about being one-to-one is that by doing these individual assignments here, so instead of a typical paper pencil labeling assignment, they can go to these links, and this website's called Purpose Games, and the students then have to identify the different bones, and if they get the bone wrong, so for instance the radius is part of the lower arm bone, but if you think it's your kneecap, it will tell you if it's wrong or right, so they get instantly, they understand if they know the correct bone. It also keeps score then of your correct and wrong answers. When the students would get done with this, they'll screenshot their finished score, and then they would just upload it. And the students really like to do these types of games. I have those games not only for the skeletal system, but also for the muscular system. One other thing that I really like by using Canvas is that I can also then import our online book and have that as a link on here. We use the Scott's Body Structures and Functions book, and the students then only have to log in one time, and then they can get it to save. And then if they're doing any homework or what have you, they're always going to have the information that they need right there in front of them, because they're all logged in then to the book, and besides having the notes that I've given them. One other thing that I like is that you can go to the students and look at the last time that they have been in and how much time they've actually spent on in my class. Another thing that I like is when you go and you look at a student's grades, if you notice that they're missing an assignment, you can go up to the assignment, and using the arrow key, you can go to message the students, and you can type in a message that maybe they haven't completed this assignment, and it automatically then sends it to any student that still needs to make that up. The other course that I created was the environmental science course. This course we do a lot of discussions, and it's a little bit different than my anatomy class. It does have the information, and I also use the interactives on these with the purpose games. And again, the students really enjoy playing those, and because it is a game base, and the students seem to like playing games, and they're actually then learning in the process. I also have quizzes on here. I import other items. such as cartoons, environmental cartoons. So like this is a cartoon of survival of the sneakiest, and then I just have the students look at it and read the cartoon, and then they have to discuss it. In this class, we do a lot more discussion-based items. For instance, one of the items we looked at in this class was what makes up biotic and abiotic factors, which are living and non-living things. The students then had to find a picture and then list the biotic and abiotic factors from that particular picture. And the students, some students were very creative. Other students, did exactly what the assignment told them to do, was to pick out an particular ecosystem and what they thought an ecosystem was. So many students, I had many students be very creative, and that shows me that they really understand what I taught them for that day. I really enjoy using this. I think it's a good tool and a motivator for my students, and the students like it because everything is right there for them. Hopefully this helps you get an idea of how Canvas can work and how you can create a learning environment for your students.